Yada 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 yada. I'm sorry. I keep hearing that song in my head ever since I started getting popping on TikTok. Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion this year. She's going crazy on TikTok and all the videos, and she's on that thick remix. She's on that remix. She's on all that. She's really popular right now. All the songs just hit after hit, and I feel like it's partially because of TikTok. Like, she was kind of popping before, but shoo, it's crazy. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about in today's video. We're talking about 7 calorie deficit facts that you need to know. Okay, these are things that have to do with the calorie deficit that a lot of people mess up at some point, in some capacity, in some way, and you need to know the real deal. These are facts. No games, no gimmicks, just facts, okay? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and don't stop looking outside across the way at the hotel, across the way at the people. Let's get the video popping. All right, number 1, the first thing you gotta know, the only way to lose weight or lose body fat, not lose body fat, the only way to lose weight and lose mass from your body is to be in a calorie deficit. Not by anything crazy, you don't have to do anything wild, you simply just need to be in a calorie deficit. There are many ways to be in a calorie deficit. You can do any type of diet that has ever been created has been with the purpose of getting someone in a calorie deficit. Now, there are more sustainable ways to be in a calorie deficit and better ways, and we're gonna talk about that, but the only way you lose weight, no matter what someone says, carbs are bad, gluten is bad, salt is bad, whatever it is, like if you're salt, that's a whole different topic, but as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you can eat any food. I should also say with this point what a calorie deficit actually is. So a calorie deficit is when you're taking in less calories through food, through drinks than your body is burning throughout a day. Now, you can burn calories by doing endless things, like just by being a live human being, you're gonna burn calories. Just by literally waking up each day, you are burning calories. Your body's burning calories, and you add any fidgets like this, or then you add an exercise. All of those are calories burned. The calories that you eat throughout the day are going to need to be less than that in order for you to be in a deficit. If you want more information on like what a deficit is, how to figure out how to be in a calorie deficit, all of that action, like how to be in one, what it is, how to set your calorie goals, how to adjust your calories to make progress, what steps to do to be in a calorie deficit. I have a video talking all about that. It's gonna be linked below too, but just had to get that out of the way before I get to these next 6 different things. Facts about calorie deficits. You gotta know what a calorie deficit is first, but it all does come down to being in a calorie deficit to lose weight. All right. Number 2, you can still have unhealthy foods and be in a calorie deficit. I should say unhealthy foods and be in a calorie deficit. There's no such thing as unhealthy foods. There's normally just unhealthy portions of foods that can lead you to not accomplishing your goals. So you can have, if you like pizza or donuts or ice cream, you can have those foods in moderation and still make progress with your goals and be in a calorie deficit. It all comes down to the total calories you're taking in. If you want to work in a slice of pizza into your day or a couple slices, then you need to adjust your other meals accordingly and have those be a little bit less calories, but you can still work them in. I'm all about having fun food in moderation. That's what I call it, fun food. When it's foods that you like really enjoy. And I think this is extremely helpful because it allows you and it lets you know that it's not a diet per se. It's literally just like you making some nutrition changes but still working in foods you enjoy. And you can have good experiences with the fun food too. So yeah, you can still have the food you enjoy and be in a calorie deficit. Number 3, most of the time, if you are not losing weight, then you are not in a calorie deficit. I say most of the time because there are some health conditions, whether it be a thyroid problem or just different stuff going on where it's still probably because you're not in a calorie deficit, but you might need to get some other treatment done in that capacity. But I would say majority of people, if you are not losing weight, it is because you are simply not in a calorie deficit. And I hate to say this, but I'm gonna put it bluntly, you're taking in too many calories. You're eating too much food and or you're not moving around, getting enough exercise in. But it comes down to the fact that you're just not in a calorie deficit. If you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. And you need to make adjustments either by making changes to the portions of the food you have, the types of food you have, working in more veggies to the mix, cutting back on, the drinks you have, there's a lot of different ways you can cut back on calories, but it's important to know that if you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. But it's also good to know that you are in control of the changes that you can make to make the progress you want. Number 4, you know the deal. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel. This is like the new permanent number 4 with whatever countdown numbered videos I'm doing. Just an FYI. But thank you for watching the video so far. Sincerely appreciate you. Love you. The real number 4. Let's get it. It's easier to be in a calorie deficit when you're having more healthy food. Now, this probably seems obvious, but it's something that most people, despite knowing they should eat veggies or fruits or chicken or salmon or better quality food, still neglect to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. It's easier to lose weight when you're having veggies and fruits and lean protein sources. If you base most of your meals around those foods, it is gonna be a hell of a lot easier. You're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna be more full for the calories that you're having, for the lower amount of calories you're having, compared to trying to somehow think that you're gonna eat a burger for every meal or pizza for every meal. And again, you can have those foods, just you need to also have healthier foods in the mix, more nutrient-dense, filling foods that help you feel better in order to make this a sustainable thing and actually make progress and maintain it long term. You need to learn to like those kind of foods and work them in on a regular basis. It's unsexy, but it's true. And I heard a quote the other day, actually earlier today. It was like, you either pay the pain of, you either take the pain now, or you either do the hard stuff now, or you do it later. So it's either like you beat discipline now and start to eat some veggies, or you are overweight later, or have too much body fat later on, and then you're in a worse position, and then you got to make changes then, when you could have just faced it head on right now and do it to it, and then yeah, you wouldn't be in that position. So something to keep in mind. Do the hard stuff right now as opposed to pushing off for later, because eventually you're gonna have to do it either way. There's gonna be some difficulty in life in some capacity. You might as well just do it now and not pay double difficulty later. Number 5, a realistic calorie deficit is easier to make progress with because it's easier to stick with and not as restrictive as trying to be uber. Again, obviously it's not as restrictive. So if you're not being crazy strict and like being like, all right, I'm only gonna have 1,000 calories today. Like say it's someone that weighs like 200 pounds, they're like, I'm having 1,000 calories for the next 2 months. Like, bro, no, you're not. Whoever you are, no, you're not. Like, if you do that, you're gonna hate your life to wit's end. You don't need to be in like an extreme calorie deficit to make progress. It's gonna be hard to stick with. There are other negative consequences that come with that. So the main thing though is that you wanna have a calorie deficit that's sustainable and like take in not an overly low amount of calories so that you hate life and it's not something you can maintain and stick with. Slower progress is perfectly fine. Slower, like if you're losing 1 pound to 2 pounds per week, that's really, really good. Even if like, it depends on how much body fat and how much weight you need to lose, but losing 3-4 pounds per week, if you're like very overweight, it's still perfectly fine. It's like really good progress too, and it's not way overdoing it. But yeah, 1 to 2 pounds per week is great progress. If you're making more than that, or want to make more than that and don't have that much weight to lose or that much body fat to lose, all things considered, you're probably being too strict. If you like hate life and you're just like uber starving all the time, probably too restrictive. Like, I would say every situation is different, so I'm not even gonna speculate like where you should start out. Again, the calorie deficit video I talked about in the beginning kind of talks about that and where you should start out from and how much to reduce calories by and all that kind of stuff. But just know that you don't need to be crazy strict starting out. I'd rather you start off with like a manageable amount of calories you're taking in on a regular basis. And then if after a couple weeks, if you're not making progress with that set amount, then reduce the calorie total by like 200 or so, 200 calories per day. And you're probably gonna start making progress from there. So start out more realistic. You can always make changes. Don't start off crazy gung-ho if you don't need to. It's a long game. We want to build habits that you can maintain for the life and be able to maintain the fat loss that you have. Number 6, it's easier to lose weight and lose fat when you're strength training and have some muscle. It's easier to be in a calorie deficit. When you have more muscle, your metabolism is going to be faster because your body needs more calories to maintain that muscle. So if you've never lifted weights before, never strength trained before, this is what you should do. If you're inconsistent with it, this is what you should do. You need to be strength training and lifting weights. Even like 3 days a week of picking 4 to 5 exercises and doing 3 sets of 10 and trying to get better, stronger, do more reps if you have only just a set of dumbbells, that is extremely impactful and will help your goals, help you look a lot better, feel a lot better, and will help you lose weight, lose body fat a lot easier. Please do that. Number 7, the last one. One day of having a crazy amount of calories doesn't automatically mean that you lost all your progress and can't ever be in a calorie deficit again. A calorie deficit is over time. It's not a one day at a time type of thing. Yes, you need to focus on one day at a time, and that's important to just focus on the task at hand, the meal ahead of you, the day at hand. That's how you can start to make progress. But it's important to know also that this is a big picture type of thing. It's not just one day make or breaks you and determines if you're gonna make progress losing weight or not. It is over the course of the long term. It's what you do over the course of a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months. It's what you do over that course of time. So if you have one day that you just have way too much fun food and you have a whole pizza and some ice cream and a burrito and go crazy, it's not the end of the world. You're cool. You can get back on track the next day. You can get back on track the next meal if you recognize it in that day. And it's always important to know that the next step you take after you have a mess up or a bad thing happen with the nutrition side of things, the next step and next thing you do is the most important. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. That is the 7 different facts, no games, no gimmicks, just facts that you need to know about calorie deficits. So I hope that was helpful. Please, again, like the video, comment any questions you have, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day, have a great week, much love, peace.